Frostbites is excited to have CFS Bank as our sponsor for today's episode. Based in Charleroi, CFS Bank is a mutual bank that focuses on working with you and helping you to achieve your financial goals. A warm thank you to Kelly Moore for co-hosting this episode. We're in for a great conversation.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Frostbites. I am Kelly Frost, your host of Frostbites, of course. We just had another episode today, and it was all about women in leadership with our co-host, Kelly Moore, as well as our guest today was Leanna Spada. We had so much fun today. Talk about women in leadership. These two ladies are powerhouses, and we got to learn about everything they have been up to lately and what is coming up in the future. So stick around so you can find out as well. Hey guys, welcome to Frostbites. We are here with another episode, and we have Leanna and we have Kelly Moore. She is going to be here all day with us today. We're very excited to have double the Kelly, double the fun, right?
That's right.
That's what I keep hearing. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We're
Two
excited.
Kellys are better than one, for sure.
Agree.
We're like the Doublemint sisters.
I love it.
Right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You
Double
are.
your pleasure, double your
Your
fun.
blonde girls.
Yeah.
And my age is showing there.
I can't, well, it's not. I just can't sing. I would have jumped in, but then we would have lost all of the audience very quickly. Well, we're excited to have you guys here today. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. I appreciate you having me. I'm just honored to be here. Thank you.
Of course. Now, I've known you for a little while, probably longer than you even realize. I'll tell you what, and I've got, such funny stories.
Uh-oh. That's what I want to hear.
Yeah. And I bet you don't even remember.
No.
But then I've just met you recently.
Yes.
And you were just the sweetest thing.
Oh,
when I first met you.
Thank you.
And it was at one of these events that we just had, the Women in Leadership.
Yeah. Yep. It was in March. Yep. Well, that was the first time.
Yeah. I know.
It
So
was
we were a little bit late coming in the door because it was really, really far
Right.
to get there. But
Yeah.
so worth it. You guys are so worth it. So we
Aw,
travel.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You know, we
Thank
travel
you.
for you ladies.
Oh,
So
we
worth
love
it.
it. We're so thankful
Well, we
for
try
that.
to put on a good show.
Yeah.
do.
Make it worth your time. Yeah.
I mean, we were pretty big pains in the ass for you, and you guys just really
not at all.
Yeah. Well, we were late getting our table ready, and you guys accommodated, and then we were late getting there. So
And then I think I screwed a few things up with the seating.
I mean,
Hey,
it was probably our fault. So
No, we're good.
No, it
As
was
long as you
great.
guys didn't mind, I was like, I felt so horrible, but I'm glad we're.
no. And then you had Carol D'Angelo was the speaker.
Yes,
which
yes,
we
she
adore
was
her.
Awesome, I know.
Yeah, her and
Such a
Becca.
great kickoff for her. I mean, she is. It just meant so much that she was so open and so transparent and raw. I mean, she really was. And that
I've
meant a
never
lot.
seen her any other way.
Yeah, she
sure.
is fabulous like that, and just a genuine person. I really we adore her too.
So when I first started Peel a little over 2 years ago, Carol was actually one of our speakers.
Oh, was she?
Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, it was maybe like our third or fourth women's lunch that we had, and it was at Rock Bottom.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Which, if you
I remember that.
if you know her story, it was very difficult for her to be down there because she used to work down there.
Yeah.
So she used to run that whole joint. So when she came in, she was like, "Well, this is full circle."
Well,
and I had no idea what
Put
she was
it out there
talking
on the
about.
table.
I was
Right.
like, "Oh, okay."
you're like, what?
Yep. And that was the first time I ever met Becca,
Oh, yeah,
Oh,
she's
wow.
great too.
and I fell in love with her.
I know.
I mean, she is just such a sweetheart and
She is.
a veteran, and
Yes.
you know, getting a chance to really hear her story was great too. So, you know, it's funny how one person comes into your life, And then it's like...
And then it snowballs.
It does.
Yeah,
It
absolutely.
does. Yeah, I mean, it was just... I just adore those ladies. And then,
They are
they
wonderful.
have their boutique now, and...
I know,
Yeah.
and all starts from one, and that's how I feel with the Will event too, because that is like, and even when we were sitting there with Brittany yesterday, I was like, wow, this was what I had dreamt about. This was what
You
I
did say
wanted.
that.
Making this connection, making the Brittany connect. That's what it's about. Us women just connecting and empowering and making new friends and being there to support and grow your circle. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So I want to hear that. Where did it come from? Where did the women in leadership come from?
Well,
How much time you got?
how much time you got? I'll condense it. Okay, actually it started, I had this idea that I didn't exactly know how I wanted it to come to fruition, but I knew that I wanted to do something to support women, to make this uplifting community. So it was around right before COVID. And I was like, this is our initiative for this year. Boom, boom, boom. We're going to do a women's thing. Here comes March. Boom. We're not doing anything.
So when you say we, though, just for our audience.
Okay, for our audience, it actually was myself and my assistant, Melissa.
Okay.
And we took it to our board, and we actually had something tentatively set up for later in the year. And then once COVID happened, it was, a nightmare. So we were a social group that couldn't be social. And, so our next year and a half was just spent helping our businesses recoup and revitalize and get their loans and get their grants and all that. So once that all settled down, and then Kelly came into my life, let's see, that's been over 2 years now.
2022?
Yeah, 2022. We met, and of course, her energy is just so great. And I was like, I telling her about the idea. I was like, I really want to get back on board with this. People are starting to come out more now. Maybe we can start doing things now, And so we talked about it for a little while. We're like, what could we do? What could we name it? What could we think? We're like thinking of all this. And then it was like, I would say, last fall?
Yes.
Last fall.
Last fall.
We said, we're like, we got to figure this out. What are we going to do? We want to do this. Let's have an event. And then we came up with the Women in Leadership. And we're like, okay, we'll have a speaker, we'll do some vendors, we just kind of were brainstorming, and then it just kind of, and I said, if we can get 50 women there, I would be like ecstatic.
Yes, you did say that.
I said I would be over the moon. I mean, even if we help one woman, if we help one person and inspire, that means the world to me. But I was like, I'd be very happy with 50. And then it's like, climb, and then we get 150, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Kelly, I think I've got to cap this. I don't know what to do. Like I'm like, and then this last time, then we ended up with like close to 180, and so I mean, I couldn't be like more blessed and ecstatic about it. Like it's just wonderful. So that's where it came, and then Kelly was like, we're in, CFS is in, let's do this, and so then we just. We jumped and like dove in full force, and Kelly's been a great partner and a great making this all happen, and so it's been a great journey.
Now you have one coming up, right?
Yes, in November 13th. Our speaker is former Washington County Commissioner Diana Irie Vaughn. She's now the
Love her.
I know, isn't she a sweetheart? Such a great lady. It's done so many good things for our community, and now she is this president CEO of City Mission, and that will also be our charity for November.
Good. I love the charitable aspect.
Yes.
Oh,
Of course.
thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, I didn't even mention that, but yeah. So then we added that in too. So
I was
really feel like everything has to have a charitable aspect.
really does,
absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. I mean, there are so many great charities around here, and so many. That's one thing about our area. I feel like so many people around here, and I don't know, maybe other areas are like this, but just the Pittsburgh and surrounding areas, I mean, they are just really charity driven, and it's great. People come together to help, and it's I think says a lot for
Yeah. I
our
couldn't agree
area.
more. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I think it's really important, and I'm going to chime in a little bit
Yes,
with CFS.
Oh, did you want to talk?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, is she here, Kelly?
the philanthropic part of it is so huge. CFS will make a donation of $500 each time to the organizations
Absolutely.
that we pick. But it's just not the monetary is nice, but it's about awareness. And I think the more awareness that we can create with the different organizations, I wish we could do one more all the time with all the different ones, but it's just awareness each time to maybe ones that necessarily don't know exist. I know, we're trying to spotlight the Mon Valley, but, it goes much more than
It
beyond
does.
the Mon Valley. There's Washington, there's
absolutely.
Pittsburgh, and so many organizations that just need a little bit of a helping hand. So anything that I think when, women get together, I say it all the time, it's magical.
It
It's
is.
powerful.
Very much.
We have the we have the ability to make a difference.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge piece of
Yeah.
Will, and just to be inspired. That's one piece of the inspiration that we get that day. It's fun.
Yeah. And to not feel alone. I
Right.
think so many times, like us as women, we feel like, oh, we're the only one struggling with this. We're the only one going through this. We're the only one. We have a lot on our plate. We all have a lot on our plate,
Right.
whether at home, at work, so yeah,
And I think a big part of it is seeing strong women up there like Carol. Like there were so many women in the room that day, and you could hear a pin drop.
Right.
We hung
on
every word that she said, and it was so impactful. And the rawness of Jenny D being up there and telling her story was impactful, and a lot of people resonated with her in that aspect. And that was something that she never really shared with everyone.
No, right.
But she wanted to share with 180 of her closest friends that day.
Yeah.
So
And just it makes me feel so good that they feel safe
Right.
there, and we created a safe environment for them to share that story.
Absolutely. And then we had the little 11-year-old girl, the little 11-year-old girl, Morgan, who was bullied.
awesome.
And
She's
decided to change the way that it was dealt with.
Yeah.
And that is something that I felt was so important that needed addressed.
Yeah.
It's the next generations that they're watching. And I say
They
that
are.
time and time again. I was bullied. I'm not, it took a while for me to admit that I could be bullied. I was
Sure.
bullied. And I was, back in the day, we were crucified.
It wasn't talked about back then. It was
Right.
just a fact of life.
That's what I
like
said.
It wasn't
Telling my story, everyone thought it was Morgan's story, but it was really my story. So it all comes together, and like you say, full circle. We just have to be mindful of what we do and what we say, and how it's going to impact the girls that are watching us.
Absolutely.
Well, I think too, whenever we were younger, we didn't have the language, the way that they have it now. And I think, our generation going through some of the things that we did, I think the generation before us, it was we don't talk about anything.
no,
You just
nothing.
shove that down. That
Right.
doesn't
Just-
happen. We're not
Yep.
discussing that. It's the suck it up.
Suck
Right.
it up.
Walk
I
it
got
off.
I got the boys. Oh, the boys would pick on you. They like
They
you.
like you, right?
And I think we all got that, and we can
Yeah.
relate to that. And it was detrimental to me for many, many years. And like I said, I grew up and I went through high school angry. And that's, again, something that I can admit now. And honestly, I still feel a creep up now and then. And it's okay to still feel that way.
But you recognize
But I
it.
can recognize it, and I can use that to help others.
Right.
Is my goal.
That's that awareness part.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to really hear a lot at the last luncheon. Kind of got pulled
A little bit of a, yeah.
into a different direction.
Yes.
Actually, I feel like that was almost a blessing because I was able to help somebody
Yes.
just from my experience with different things. But
Right.
but I could kind of hear certain parts, and I could only hear one voice. So I know that people were listening.
Oh, yes.
Oftentimes, whenever you're at an event, you hear the chatter in the back, chatter, and I was in the back of the room.
Okay.
And that's why I'm telling you that people were listening.
They really were.
Because
That's
I could
wonderful.
hear echoes of people speaking, but I could not hear any chatter.
Oh, I have goosies.
I know. That is so awesome. I know.
Goosies.
And I try to look around too, because and as when we have events, and how it is doing events, you're always like mindful, like, are we losing the audience? Are we, we got to keep on. There wasn't a time at both times that I looked around, because I look around, are they still engaged? I mean, and they were as engaged from minute 1 as minute 40. So I was like, wow. Yeah. So we had some great ladies and
And a lot of great women businesses.
yes, wonderful women.
We support the women businesses that are vendors each time. So we try to spotlight those.
Yeah, that's tough.
It is tough. Yes.
And then it's tough as a person who is attending, because I'm the first one that I went to that Carol was speaking. And I remember walking in and they said, oh, the vendors are all in the back. And I was like, oh, okay. Because I had never been to that Nemacolin Country Club before. So I wasn't familiar with the layout. And when I went in the back and I went, oh, God, there's about 1 million tables back here. I'm going to go broke. Because I always want to support everybody.
I know, don't you? 'Cause you're like,
Guilty.
And I was like,
all right, I'll
okay.
buy one.
So I'm looking for familiar faces. Like, maybe I can just do a beeline. And I started to, and I hear, Kelly. And I was like, oh, maybe they're looking for Kelly more. Maybe they're looking for Kelly. So I was like, oh, that's pretty. All right, I'll take 2 of this. Oh, that smells good. I'll take 2 of this.
Okay, yeah,
Because you want to
you
support.
want to support. I know we run into that all the time. I said, I need my whole chamber salary is going back in, because every store I go into, everywhere I'm like, go to visit my members, I'm like, oh yeah, I'll buy that. Oh yeah, I'll get. I'm like, oh my gosh, I need just like a second income to keep up with that.
Absolutely. Same.
So maybe we need to start doing like shopping bags,
Yeah.
sponsored by Frostbites, and everyone will walk around with a
There you
little
go.
shopping bag.
There you
all
go.
Note.
Hey, we're open to it.
Absolutely.
As the women are walking in, they're getting all their, here's your shopping bag, so you can support all of our wonderful vendors.
Yeah,
Absolutely. I
Yeah.
love it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very nice. So you guys do it. You do a very nice job. Very nice job. But yeah, again, the philanthropic side of it is phenomenal.
Thank you.
So, yeah, continue to do that.
Appreciate that.
And I think that is also actually going back to where I met you for the first time.
Okay.
Are you?
So-
I gave you a minute to start to try to see if
I
there's
am
fuzzy
thinking
memories.
if it was in Harmerville.
Nope.
Yep.
Nope.
Nope.
Oh wait, Harmerville.
Harmerville. It was Zone 28.
Uh-huh. That's it then.
Yes, with Inspiring Lives or Inspiring Lives.
Yeah.
And I remember that was, I think, the first event that I met you.
I had no idea she was.
Really?
She was animated.
So,
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So as you were, I remember you had like this red, was a red gown? Or, no?
Not me.
No?
Counterpart. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm always behind the scenes.
Okay.
It was a while ago.
It was a long while ago.
Yeah. So I was always the one that kind of ran the events.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you were the
Okay.
Yeah.
I do remember
did
you
the
there.
heavy lifting.
Yeah. And then, I had somebody else who was doing all the interviews that, was running the magazine, and the event was the Empowering Women of Philanthropy.
Oh.
So there was, I think there were 16 women that were there that were being interviewed about philanthropy, and their stories
I
were
bet it was
really
amazing.
And then we had them in the magazine
Oh, okay.
afterwards, and their stories were there again with the awareness, trying to continue the awareness afterwards. And we had professional photographers there, and it was the photos afterwards that really left a lasting impression.
Oh, yes. Now I see where you're going with it.
I'm afraid to ask. I don't even know.
Yes.
The photos were great, right? So we have people that were posing, and we had Marty. I don't know if you know what Marty is. It's like a little robot, and he rolls around taking photos.
Oh,
And you can
okay.
stand in front of him, and it was really creative.
That was fun.
And then we had our photographer gave us the photos afterwards, and this gem of a woman. I didn't really know what photo bombing was.
Yeah.
Until Kelly
And
won.
then I didn't realize that you could take it to that level.
Listen, it became a mission by the end of the night.
And I was like, was this a game that I was not aware of?
Like,
To
is there-
see how many photos
so
you could
funny.
photobomb? And I'm telling you, as I'm going through, it could have been a flip book.
It was. It
You
was
know?
quite a bit.
Like, you know how, like, when you were a kid,
Yeah,
you go-
yeah.
and then you see that, and she was like,
Yeah, it became a
It
mission
was
at the end of the night.
amazing. It was amazing.
That is
fun.
It
so
really was.
funny.
And I was like, who is this? And they're like,
Who is this?
And why is she going like this? And every one of them.
no, they were smiling. I mean,
some were.
yes.
Some I had like the food,
But
and
it
I'm
was
like,
so fun. A lot of them were
So-
intentional. Some of them
Yes.
weren't, but yeah, they were intentional. And
That
she
is
was
a way to
just
make a
jumping,
lasting
jumping,
impression.
Jumping. Yeah, I
It
was
was
like,
fun.
we have to invite her back. I was like,
was good
this
times.
is classic. I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, I've never seen somebody photobomb this many photos.
Yeah.
But so entertaining. It wasn't. It was not a negative. It was so.
She's
I mean,
so
I
funny.
laughed for days.
Oh my
For
gosh,
days.
she
that
keeps
was
us
fun.
laughing.
Okay,
I know.
okay. I know where you went with that. So I like it.
yeah.
I like it, Kelly.
Yeah, it was amazing. I probably still have them, and like someday, like for
Oh,
Christmas, she's
please,
gonna open
someday.
up this
Yes.
anonymous
Oh.
gift, and she's gonna be like, "What kind of flip book?"
I would hang that in my office because that's the type of gal that I am.
But those, I love women like her that do things like that.
I know.
because it's the sense of humor.
It is.
Yes.
You know, so
Yeah,
many
it is.
women, are afraid to show that.
Yes.
They're afraid to laugh. They're afraid to be funny. I love those women. Those
Yes.
are my ladies.
And
those are the ladies that I invite to girls' weekends.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I'm ready.
because they're not afraid to let their guard
Right.
down. They're not afraid to be funny. They're not afraid to have a good
Yeah.
time, even at business events. Which I mean,
You
business
have
is
to.
business,
Yes.
as they say. But you're still your personality. You're still your own person. People want to know, like,
you
and
are.
trust you.
Right.
Right. That's authentic.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
women that are authentic. And
Absolutely.
they don't get much more authentic.
No, I try to make it as real as possible. So
Yep.
for
She's
sure.
she's as real as you get.
And I
Yeah,
swear, I
she's good.
fell in love with her after I saw all that. That was great. That was
That's
great.
awesome, Cal. I love it.
know.
Yep.
She is. I mean, we have fun. It's a good time, and I
is a
couldn't
good
think of
time.
a better partner. Yep.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
So when I started seeing her doing things with you, and not knowing exactly who you were, what you were doing, I was like, oh, well, I almost automatically trusted you because she was so close with you.
Leanna's
how
amazing.
nice.
I will say about Leanna. So she is a great leader. She has ideas and she's not afraid to run with them. She thinks outside of the box. And I think first and foremost, like her passion is with the chamber in the community and how to make it better and bigger each time. And, when I first met Leanna, I remember I started there. I'm like, I went to someone in my at CFS and I said, okay, I want to get involved with the chamber here. Who do I need to talk to? And everyone's like, you need to talk to Leanna Spada. And I'm like, okay. I'm like, so I think I called and I made an appointment and I walked in and I said, hi, what can I do?
Yeah, she's like, I want to
What
help.
can
We
I
were
want to
like,
help. I want to be involved. I did
and
this
that's all
stuff.
you
I
have
wanna
to
do
tell the
it.
chamber, because then we're like,
Right.
you got it. I'm calling you for everything.
Yeah. And I think, just seeing that you energize every event that you're at, everyone knows who you are, everyone looks to you. And I think that is so important in today's world. And that message that you carry is consistent at each event. And that's a huge part of your success. And so, kudos to you.
Appreciate
And
those
it's
kind
a
words.
great honor to be a part of the Mon Valley Chamber. And help to, in any which way that we can.
And you do. Thank you. And we appreciate that.
You're always giving back.
Well, thank you. I try. It's hard. I still struggle with anybody, and I'll be truthful. I don't take compliments well. I struggle with that. Like, oh no, not me, no.
Most
that
women
type.
do.
Yes, and it's just very, very difficult. But that is very nice, and I appreciate that. And you've been a great addition and asset to our organization, and that's what I'm here for. I do this for the betterment of our region, not for acknowledgement or this. I mean, it is great to get the name out there because the more connections you have, obviously. But I grew up there in the Mon Valley. My great-grandparents, my grandparents, my parents, now us. Now I have my kids here. I mean, so we're rooted in the Mon Valley.
Bryce and I were just talking about this.
Really? And so it's the passion because of that, because I want to see it. It used to be obviously booming as a lot of places were when the mills were up and everything was great. And it's my passion to kind of bring back in a different way and make the Mon Valley a key player again. And I want, when people think of this region or economic growth, I want them to say, let's not count out the Mon Valley. Let's, they have stuff to offer too, and smaller, we are, but, we've got a lot of good people, a lot of strong people and a lot of great business there. And that's just, I want to make it good for generations to come, for my kids to say, I want to stay there. I don't want to, because when we were in high school and I can't wait to get out of here. Oh, I can't wait to leave this valley, And I never felt that way. I don't know. I mean, yes, we are 30 minutes from any kind of big stuff, but
that's not necessarily a bad thing.
Exactly. So that is, we have been shielded from a lot because of that, and we have had the chance to become more unique in ourselves, to offer more unique things and personalized, and go into stores and know that person, and know your people and your neighbors, and they're the ones supporting the town. So yeah, and we have a really unique situation with our chamber because we touch 4 counties. So we're like right dab in the middle. We have members from Washington, Westmoreland, Fayette, and Allegheny. So we are very fortunate in that we can have that touch to kind of all the counties around us. So we're getting there. We're on the comeback. But that's my goal, and then that's the end game. And the end game is just to make it a better place than I found it. And any way I can do that.
At the end of the day, people are people. Everybody puts their pants on the same way. Everybody wants their kids to do better than they did.
Right.
Everybody wants to take care of their parents. I mean, everybody has to pay a mortgage. Right? I mean,
we don't get out of it. Yep.
Right. I mean, everybody drives a vehicle, and they all have tires, right? I mean,
Yeah, for sure.
everything's just a little bit different in different parts of the country. That's really. I mean, yeah. But I like the Mon Valley. I don't think there's any kind of negative opinions about it or anything. But I always like to ask people too, how did you get to where you are? So how long have you been in the position that you're in right now?
I have been there over 6 years. So I started in 2018. It actually kind of was a full circle kind of a thing. When I originally started out, my background was in human resource management. So I started doing staffing out of college for Sony.
Everyone loves HR.
Everybody loves HR, right?
Ask me what my major was.
What was your major?
Industrial and organizational psychology.
Oh my gosh! I swear we have, we're finding so many things because that was my minor, industrial psychology.
No kidding.
Yes, yeah. And I just loved it. I really loved that part of it. It still fascinates me to this day. But
so my very first job out of college was, I was doing what I told you while I was in. So as soon as I graduated, I was HR.
See?
Go ahead.
Oh my gosh. We graduated the same year, HR. Our
Kids
kids were born the same.
What's your husband's name?
My husband is Derek.
No.
Okay, no. Okay.
Mine's David.
Oh, well, D's.
The D's.
We got the D's.
Wild.
This is craziness. I love it. I love it. So, so I started doing that and then went to another job where I was in HR and wanting to do that HR and be in the big corporation. That was like, my thing. I'm going to be in a big corporation HR. Yeah, blah, blah. And that was my second job. And I was like, I don't like this. I was like, this is like some crappy stuff and I don't want to do it, you know? So I thought, what do I want to do? What do I want to do? Well, my neighbor had a business. He had a video store and I worked there in high school. Okay, for him. And he says to me.
Like the videos that you go and
like
rent?
A VHS.
Like Blockbuster?
Yes. Yes. It's called
They should bring those back.
Jack Green's Video World. I was the video girl.
Oh
Loved it.
my.
Worked there all through college. Yeah.
Okay.
It was awesome.
I love it.
Do you speak movie quotes?
Believe it or not, I could still remember like where they were positioned, and like I still hear titles now, and I'm like, oh yeah, that was a big renter.
Be kind, rewind.
Yeah. Oh, we were not happy if you did not rewind.
Did you just feel the heat come off of her?
Listen,
when you said
I know they get so serious.
Because we would have to, and he was very strict. We'd have to, when the tapes came back, we had to wipe them down with disinfectant, like every tape.
Oh.
And then we'd open it, and we'd be like, they didn't rewind it. And we'd make a mental note of who it was. So the next time we're like, make sure you rewind.
Nice.
She's putting the stickers on.
Yeah, I'm like, blackball
Here, we have a
them.
sticker for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then then for a while we got into like you would get a little fee if you didn't rewind, like 15 cents charge or whatever if you didn't rewind.
Wow.
So it was big time. But so he actually came to me and said, I'm closing my business. Obviously it was like later, early 2000s, people were kind of I'm closing my business and I'm selling my building. Do you know anybody that would want to buy my building? And I thought, I don't know. Maybe I want to buy your building. What do I want to do? I don't know. Maybe I want to open a business. So at like 27 years old, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna buy this building. My parents were like, okay. And what are you gonna do with it? I'm like, I'm gonna open a store. I'm gonna have a country, rustic, antiques, that kind of store. So everyone's like, oh, you're crazy. So I did the whole business plan and got loans and did all this stuff and jumped through these hoops and opened my business, the Country Cottage. That's what it was called. So I did that for 5 years. Unfortunately, because of I had a first husband I was married to for a short time. No kids, thank God. No kids. And we ended up even though I had the store before him, when we ended up getting divorced, he was trying to do some things with that. So I ended up having to close the store, but I loved it. It was so wonderful. 5 great years, and I loved it. And it was in Charleroi. So during that time, I got to meet Debbie Kiefer, who ran the chamber, because I was a big supporter of the chamber when I was there. I mean, like, did a lot with them, blah, blah, blah. So as I'm phasing out of the store, my sister is an insurance agent, and she said to me, listen, I know you don't know what you're going to be doing now, where you're going to be going. Come sell insurance for me. I thought, oh, God, I don't want to sell insurance. I was like, all right, I'll do it for a little while till I just figure out what I'm going to do. So got licensed, studied, did the whole 9 yards, sold.
Which is impressive. To license for, I think that's impressive.
Well, thank you. Yeah, home, auto, commercial.
Wow, okay.
We did the whole gamut. So she has an insurance agency in Brownsville. So went there, a couple years turned into 13 years of doing it. And even though, she was love her to death, I don't know what I would do without my sister, but insurance just wasn't my gig. I just didn't have a desire. Even though I loved helping people, and like it got to the point where my sister, we're completely opposite, and she would be like, listen, you have a streamline of people that just want to come in and talk to you all day long and tell you their problems. Like, you got to kind of say, okay, I'm going to have to like sell a little bit here. I can't, counsel you on your problems. But I don't know why I just, I took to them. And so I'm making this a very long story. But how it came back full circle is Debbie Kiefer was ready to retire. And someone had told my mother, and my mother said, oh, Debbie's retired. And I thought, because my heart's still small business, I'm like, I was like, oh, I would love to have her job. And I thought, well, why can't I? So I went down there and I'm like, hey, Debbie, I said, I would love to learn more about this and see, I don't know if I would be a fit, because, nothing is like running a chamber. There's no other job that you could prepare you for a chamber. So she's like, well, why don't you come to work for us? And I'm not going to retire for about 4 more months. She says, but come work for us. And so I said to my sister, listen, I'm sorry, but I'm going to take this, opportunity. She's like, absolutely, you go for it. She knew I was always, that wasn't my passion. So I started working there and just kind of learning the ins and outs. And then she said, okay, I think you're ready to take over. And I was like, okay, am I? I don't know. So I just kind of like, you're thrown in and that's it. And you kind of just have to
That's
take
the best
off.
way to learn.
Yeah. So I think it was because of the relationship I had with her and the chamber kind of brought me back to that. So, and that's where I've been ever since. And I love it. It's given me the opportunity. Every day's different, which I absolutely love. So, and I've just met so many wonderful people, like both of you. Like I think about that. Like if I wouldn't be in this position, so many people that I wouldn't have the chance to meet and learn about and find out about and, you know, hear their stories. And so it's a blessing.
Very nice.
Very nice.
Oh.
So besides women in leadership, which is obviously making you excited, what else is happening with you right now?
Okay, well, every November we do a bus tour. Kelly's been a part of this. She comes on her
husband
and
too.
her husband. He's a
He's
champ.
a man.
So what we do is we have about 80 people. We have 2 bus loads. We call it the Love Local Mystery Tour. We load up the buses 9 a.m. The ladies come, a couple gentlemen come. We load them up, and we take them from 9 to 5 on a shopping spree, wineries, all of our members in our Mon Valley that, you know, there's different ones every year that's on there, but they don't know where they're going before the tour. So they get on the bus, they trust us to take them around, and we hit restaurants. We
So
hit,
much fun.
you know, all the little shopping unique. We actually had people coming from St. Clairsville, Ohio. This is like their 3rd year now. They're coming back again to go on the tour. So it's just a chance, a way for us to bring attention to our members and our attention to our valley and say like, hey, there are unique little shops here you don't know about, and restaurants and wineries. And so we have a great lined up for this year. So that will be why I decided in 1 week to do a bus tour and a women's event. Because I'm a sucker for punishment. I don't know what is that about. But so the Saturday before our women's event is November 9th, we have the bus tour. And so that's always a great event. We are going to resurrect our young professionals. We used to have a young professionals, so 40 and under. We are working on resurrecting that, as well as doing a steady kind of a networking meeting twice a month. I think we're going to start that. We're going to kick that off in September too. So we always have a lot of things going on. We like to change it up a lot. Like, I know, and this is the way the chambers were, but a lot of things changed with COVID. A lot of it's not the same. I'm just going to come to a monthly luncheon and we're going to talk. People don't want to do that anymore. So I try to change it up. We do pop-ups where we do like after hours. We just pop up at a random member. You know, we say, hey, meet the chamber Thursday at 5 o'clock. We're going to be here. Or, you know, just to bring some attention, you know, and get people to network. Because I still say, and I know with this day and age and this younger generation, and I'm trying to get this through even to my children, that everything is on the phone, everything is on the computer, but there is nothing like that face-to-face, and you girls know that. There is nothing like meeting that person face-to-face and making a lasting impression. And I especially learned that over COVID, because I and I'm sure you guys were too, on hundreds of meetings with hundreds of people, and I'm like, were they there? Was that person on that call? Was that? You don't remember. You don't make an impression on like you do meeting face to face, shaking someone's hand, you know, learning a little bit about them, kind of. So, so we just try to change it up. We change all the time what we have. Sometimes it's luncheon, sometimes it's breakfast, sometimes it's after hours, you know. So we try to make it so that everybody has a chance to do something if their schedules permit. So
you're having a good time.
I'm having a good time.
I love it.
That's great. I'm so happy for you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, sounds like you tried a little bit of, you know, the Goldilocks. You know, tried everything, and you found something that fits really well.
Yeah, I finally found my niche.
Yeah,
I
that's
think
great.
one of your biggest, it's like you're willing to partner with anyone. And that's what I said
thank
before.
you.
You
I
think
am.
outside of the box, and there's so many organizations that are willing to partner with you throughout the Mon Valley, Mon Valley Alliance, just so many that I could go on and on. But I think that's a huge proponent with the chamber. We talk about, you know, networking events and such, but you're really beyond that. You want to, you know, help their business grow and help someone in need. or bring awareness. So I think that's a
When you
great.
think of others,
Right.
I think that makes a world of difference.
Right.
You know, when I first started doing, what I'm doing now, besides frostbites, I always said, no matter what, I met with all of the, I shouldn't say all, but as many women leaders as I possibly could before I even announced Peel. When I first decided, I was like, you know what? I'm going to take the bull by the horns. I'm going to start this. This is what I want to do. I had everything mapped out. And then I went and just had a bunch of lunches with a bunch of women individually. And I said, listen, I don't want you caught off guard. I said, this is what I want to do. I just want to talk to you about it. I'd love to collaborate with you on different things. And that's where my hashtag came from, the whole collaborate, don't compete.
Absolutely.
'Cause I don't ever want to compete with anybody.
Right.
No. Life is just too short, and I want it to be very sweet.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I love what you have done with Peel is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And in 2 short years, because it's been catching my eye for a while. Even before I met you, I'm like, who's this? What's going on there? It's like good things happening there. And it's very impressive. And that takes a lot of courage to step out and do that as well. So you have done an amazing job with that. And I think that you hit a lot of those same things for people, that is important, and you have that supportive group, because even if you have, if somebody in your group is having, I have this issue, I have this problem, hey, listen, I'm going to call Kelly up, or I'm going to call, Kelly up, or Kelly up, or Kelly up, and say, hey,
or how she says, the Peel Posse.
the Peel Posse, I love it.
That actually is not from me.
No?
No.
We were dubbed that.
Oh.
Really?
We were going to all these events together, and then someone started saying, hey, can you bring your Peel Posse?
Oh,
That's
I love
awesome.
It was someone else.
Caught on.
And
I love it.
That's all. People
Yes.
started just referring to us as the Peel Posse.
That
and
is
I said, they're like,
fabulous.
oh, I love that. I love that. I was like, okay, if you guys like it,
We'll go with it.
So, and then people just started hashtagging it. I was like, okay.
That's awesome.
So that is now our nickname.
That is amazing. I love it. I love it. It's so great. Yeah. So, and that's what and absolutely there is, and I think that's why I'm so willing to collaborate. And I think it was, some were kind of like when I first started, because that was one of my first things, is I set up meetings with other chambers to say, hey, I want to sit down with you. Let's collaborate. Let's work together. Because it was always kind of this more of like a competition. Listen, there is enough business out there. At the end of the day, we all want the same thing, to make this area great. So to make this region grow, to, bring in economic development, make it a place where people want to stay. I don't care who I have to partner with. If we're accomplishing it, I'm there.
Right.
I'm there. And even it took my board a little while, because I was stepping out of the Mon Valley a little bit to bring that, because I said, our name has to go beyond the Mon Valley for people to know. And I partner with Pittsburgh Business Exchange. You call me? All right, if I believe in what you're doing, I'll partner with you. That's so.
Yeah, I talked to Ethan before too.
Oh, okay. So, yep, absolutely.
I think he was one of the only guys that I spoke to.
Oh, so you're like, hey.
Yeah. I was like, so what are you doing?
And what they're doing is great. They always, So, and absolutely. And that's what even, I'm excited for Amy at Peters Township, because I'm like, because I remember that just like taking over and just wanting to rebrand it. And not that the predecessor hasn't done a wonderful job, and that's what, because I love Debbie. I love my predecessor. She's taught me so much. But it's just, you put your own personality to it and your own spin to it. And and really at the end of the day, you're selling yourself as the chamber. So it's like, I'm the face of the chamber. So I have to make sure that what I'm doing is what my members want. And
Look,
I work for them.
We all have to do a
Absolutely.
little bit of refreshing. Otherwise, we'd all be walking around with the 90s hair. And
Absolutely.
Oh, I don't know. I could rock my 90s hair.
I didn't say we can't every once in a while, but
I think we should
yeah.
go back.
Exactly.
we'd all be taking stock out in a rave.
Crimper.
Oh,
I had crimper.
the crimper.
Crimper. Do you have a crimper?
I did not have a crimper.
I
I
had a
had a
crimper.
No. I had a perm.
Oh, the
I had a
hours
perm
upon
too.
hours, yes.
I had a perm. And then when I went to get rid of the perm, I would use the crimper, which would make horrible
Horrible frizz.
Envision it.
horrible frizz.
I just got an eye twitch talking about my perm.
Oh my God. It's like hours sitting there in rollers.
The smell.
And the smell.
Oh, yeah.
I'd come home, I'd have such a headache
We're all
after sitting
reminiscing right now.
4 hours of a perm, what we didn't do.
Yeah. But my hair was probably the length of yours. And then I got a perm.
Oh.
Oh.
So then,
So my
so
hair
then you
was
were-
up to here.
Yes,
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mushroom is what my hair looked like. Yeah, the mushroom.
The mushroom.
Yeah, it was bad.
I think at the next PO event, we should all bring younger pictures of ourselves from our high school days and try and guess who's
We
who.
should put that, yes.
I may or may not have them on my phone now.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
They're bad.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah.
We should do a wall and be like, if you sign up, you have to send us a old picture, and then put a wall and say, can you guess who's who?
So, I mean, full disclosure, I've shown people my photos. They're like, that's not you. That's AI. I'm like, don't I wish?
I think if we're going to do AI, we're not going to do it in that way.
Yeah. I'm like,
No.
honestly, that's where I get my sense of humor from.
Oh, yeah.
Because it had to develop because nothing else did.
I have a picture
I
of
had
me.
crazy hair, I was
yeah.
flat chested, and I had no curves. And I played soccer with the boys because there was no girls team. So I was getting my ass kicked on a weekly basis.
So, yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
you're like,
yeah.
I have to find some humor in
That
it.
builds character.
So I was
It
like,
does.
and I had glasses that was when the tint first came out.
Oh.
And they didn't know what they were doing, and I had braces. So I had purple glasses with a tint, braces, short little hair that had curls,
Playing soccer.
and
with
I
the
was
boys.
playing. Yeah, at least that was funny.
Oh.
Yeah,
So everyone's like,
looking.
killing it.
I have a picture of me from 1993. What? 1990. Oh, that's a great year. But anyways, 1993
good.
is the year I
11th grade.
graduated, and I'm in this it's like a denim outfit. It's like I had the jeans with like the patches on the side.
Oh.
And the half shirt, and my hair was so big, and I was on the way to my senior pictures like that.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Oh.
And
Because you were
my-
teasing.
Oh, listen.
Upside down.
So my mom's like, let's take a picture of you. So we go outside, and the sun shines through. It almost looks like a heavenly halo.
It was the
Halo. Yes. Oh,
I love
wait,
it.
I'm sensing maybe a 1980 or 1990s will coming up in 2025.
I am too.
I can
wait
rock
till
it.
girls'
Yeah.
weekend,
Oh, yes.
and everyone's like, "Oh, let's go do our '80s hair," and then we do our clothing swap, and everyone's putting on someone else's stuff.
okay.
Oh, that is a good time.
Good stuff.
That is a good time. Yeah.
Wow.
On that note,
Yeah. Okay.
well, we like to end all of our podcasts with a little frostbite, and I always let our co-host ask the final question.
Uh-oh.
I'm sorry.
Pick a good one, Ellie.
Look, I got the
all-
glasses
You
on.
got the
Everyone knows
glasses
I can
on.
read.
Okay.
love.
Yeah, oh, thank you.
Very
Get
nice.
prepared for
Okay,
this.
ready?
Okay.
Could you provide us one frostbite of knowledge, that solid, undeniable truth that keeps you motivated even when things get tough? So this is your will here, your truth.
My truth. Do we have time? It's a whole nother podcast now.
No,
It's the brave hairspray.
it is.
I will. The first thing that comes to my mind with that is my relationship with God, because I won't lie. There are some days, like at the end of the day, I want to be in tears, and we're beat up, and people say bad things. And when I first started, I couldn't understand that. I was like, oh, why don't they like me? Why don't they like the chamber? Oh my goodness, I can't believe that. Like I'm like was so just like, how could someone be so not kind? And because in my mind, that's something I try to do. I always try to lead with kindness. So I'm always first and foremost that is what I try to do. And then when someone's not kind back, you're just like, oh, wait, that hurt. But I had to develop a little bit of a thick skin, and I needed to say, God, I don't know why that's happening, but obviously it's some sort of lesson for me, and I'm going to take it for what it is and learn from it and move on, and don't let them win. Don't let them get you down. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep looking forward. And so that's what I say when we have a tough day. My assistant says to me, oh, what are we going to do now? I said, we're just going to keep moving forward. We're just going to keep looking ahead and keep moving forward. And that's that's what we're going to do. People will be people, and some days are tougher than others, obviously. Everybody knows that. But I think it's, having the faith, the deep-rooted faith, and always being kind at the end of the day. Sometimes that person hurt people. Mm-hmm. So I always feel that way, and I think, oh, maybe there's something going on I don't know about. So, and that kind of gives me, that's my way I talk to myself to say, all right, you could really be like, oh, I just want to, and hey, I'll be truthful. There's days you want to just like, and say, well, this is what I really think. But then you think, that's not productive for anybody. So I have to say, I kind of went off on a tangent there. That was a little bit of a long answer, but
your answer is your answer.
That's right. That's your truth.
But that's my truth. So that's how I get through the tough days.
Love it.
I love that.
Yeah, so.
Okay. Well, ladies, thanks for coming today. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
Double Kelly, double the fun.
I know. And I just want to say to both of you, you are both wonderful people to work with. And I'm so happy I've had the chance to meet you and become a friend to you guys. And, I appreciate being here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm just excited to be here with you. I mean, geez Louise, that's big shoes, big microphones to fill around here.
My legs are falling asleep. All right, guys. Well, that's another episode of Frostbites. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.